Welcome back to the Philippines Build a Nation Save. And I'm back today because we have our youth intake and we have some okay looking players in our youth intake. If I'm going to be honest, there's no one who I'm super excited signing here just because of our wage budget. However, we have one really good looking player in our youth intake, an elite talent, John Soriano, who has 1.5 current ability and potentially 3.5 to 4-star potential ability. But I actually think he might be better than that. He is a right back. We could play him as a fullback on defend, which this is the fullback on defense side. But he actually has the attributes that make me think he could be really good and a future starter for this team. In particular, really good crossing, so if this ever becomes the fullback on attack, he's got that. He's got really good tackling, marking, and heading, especially for his age. He's only 15 years old. Solid positioning, good work rate, decent enough concentration and aggression, and most importantly, he's got good pace and good stamina. He's actually already a player that could fill in for the first team squad, but I actually think this is a player who could develop. Something we don't always see from our youth intake is players who I think we can develop. This is a guy who I think we can develop, so I'm going to sign him to a contract. We're going to sign him into the first team. And we actually have a potential star player in our youth intake for the first time. But that all being said, I'm literally 2 days after that match against Kaya. In this episode, we're playing the PFL Cup final and the final match of the season against DHC. So I'm going to move forward, play through the rest of the season. We're going to sign up Mr. John Soriano, and I will see you all for the PFL Cup final. And we are now forward to the PFL Cup final against Mendiola. Since the last time I saw you guys, we beat Maharlika Taguig 4-0. We beat Aguilas 4-0 at home. We beat Taloy 4-2 at home. Matt Orr, by the way, has been absolutely amazing. And then we drew 1-1 at home to Kaya. This was with essentially a first team squad, so I was a little disappointed with the draw. But that draw does mean we are going to finish in second place. We are now 5 points behind Mendiola with one match in hand. But I'm going to talk about all of the PFL stuff after the final match against DHC. But most immediately, we are here for the PFL Cup final against Mendiola. At this point, we have made back-to-back PFL Cup finals. Mendiola, of course, have won all the PFL Cup finals since this new save has started. But we made it with Manila Monte last year. We are back with United City this season, and it should be a pretty interesting match. I do have some hope for this match because last time we played Mendiola, we did draw 0-0, so we've shown that we can get a result. But of course, this is at a neutral venue. The last match was at home. We'll see how we do. The big thing, of course, is that no matter what, we are going to get £200,000 in prize money, but we could get an extra £100,000 by winning the PFL Cup. That would go a long way to helping out our finances. Our finances are not great, but we do have help from the owner. Again, I'm not really worried about the finances. It's just one of those things that would help us out a lot moving into the off season as far as increasing our transfer budget and payroll are concerned. But all right, let's get straight into things. We are up against Mendiola in the final of the PFL Cup. The only big news is that unfortunately, John Carino is suspended for the next match due to yellow card accumulation. He has been an absolute stalwart in the back for us. He's played almost every match this season as far as the matches that he could play after I decided to bring him into the squad. So that does mean that Okiagu will come into the center of defense, but otherwise it is our starting lineup. Schwarzer in goal, Bugas, Gaucho, and Menzi, Amita, Minu, and Warafi in the middle, De Bruyker on the width, and then Gayoso and Matt Orr up top. This is the team. This is a big match against Mendiola for the chance to actually win a trophy in this save. We haven't won a trophy yet. This is our chance to do it. I'm not super confident, but we did get a result last time, so hopefully we'll at least make it a good match. I will see you all for the PFL Cup final. Gayoso gets us underway in the PFL Cup final against Mendiola. With Manila Monte, this is a match that we lost last season. Can we do a little bit better this time around? Jason Pendant for Mendiola, their left back, playing it to Atay Jumashev. Jumashev is a player that we actually signed in the original Mendiola save, so it's interesting to see that they've signed him. That's not a penalty! There's no Where was the foul? That's so soft. An awful start to the PFL Cup final. What a save from Julian Schwarzer, and we are still in. What a save! That was never a pen. Ball don't lie. Never a penalty. Pendant with the corner. And we've cleared it. Lingbo to Alan Graffite. Blocked. And it's over the bar. Brilliant from Julian Schwarzer. Absolutely brilliant. And our first chance of the game here. That's a great ball in as Bugas slips past the defender. He's in. He could score. It's just wide. Free kick here for Mendiola. Zhumashev plays it to the back post. It's another great save from Schwarzer. And it's over the bar. Another brilliant save from Schwarzer. He's having a blinder to start this game. He is absolutely keeping us in the PFL Cup final here. Amita with a good spot. He tries to play it to Bugas. Doesn't work out well. Mendiola on the attack now. Han playing it back to Lingbo into NGA. I mean, it's been all Mendiola. It's another... He's got to be offsides. A great save from Schwarzer, but he was offsides, and now we'll have the chance to play out. It has been all Mendiola to start this game ever since the pen. Let's see if we can get something going here. As it's played forward to Gayosa to De Bruyker. He's going to go down the right-hand side. Can we get a cross in? Can we get a cross in? That's a good cross. Matt Orr. Oh, that was the spot here, but it falls to Bugas. We're still on for something here. Awarafi, and we found the back of the net, and we take the lead in the PFL Cup final. Awarafi with an absolute banger. What a start to this match. Looking at the replay here, it goes out to Bugas. Great play from Bugas to cut it back to Awarafi, and what a strike. We are leading 1-0. I think this is the first ever lead we've had against Mendiola in this save. I don't think we've done this before. What a position to be in. In the PFL Cup final, leading 1-0. Could this be the time? It's been a great season. Could this be it? I shouldn't get my hopes up too soon because something like that can happen. And it's wide. What a block from William Gaucho. What a block. And we're still doing well here. Lingbo playing it in. Get it out, boys. William Gaucho playing that out well. They'll have another shot. Goes to NGA. How? This is... Oh, boy. And it's in. 2 pence. 2 pence. Sometimes, I know, man. Sometimes it just feels like Football Manager doesn't want you to win. There's still one more play before the end of this half. Don't allow anything, boys. Well done, Julian Schwarzer, and it's over. Julian Schwarzer's been absolutely brilliant. Take us to halftime. That is halftime. An absolutely brilliant half from Julian Schwarzer. Mendy will have an inflated XG from those pens, but we can absolutely win this. I want the team to believe. We're going to tell everyone. We're going to give them that I have faith in them team talk, which is like the halftime I have faith, just to get a better reaction here. But 1-1 in the PFL Cup final at halftime against Mendiola. We just have to believe that we can do this. If we could take this, if we could draw, take this to extra time and pens, or sneak out. Okay, that went over. Okay, if we could sneak out into pens or just sneak out a goal, there's still a chance here. Amita here in the midfield. Can we work our way out? Gaucho going long. He finds Gayoso in the channel. This is a good chance. It doesn't quite find Orr. And it could... Oh, it's going to end up being a counter now for Mendiola. We've got numbers back. We just got to be careful of that. Why? What are we doing? And it's off the bar or off the post. We had the numbers in the middle. We just got to stay goal sides there. Amita here going forward. Rafi, you got to win that. We got to play a better ball. We got to keep the ball. It's mistakes like that that can lead to goals. Mendiola have quality. Lingbo going down the right-hand side. He crosses. How has that happened? That's a gut punch. But this is what Mendiola do. This is the team that we built. I don't know why Menzi is so far inside and not covering Garcia at all. I don't know why he's not there, just leaving him wide open. We got to make changes now. We've made all the subs. This is everything we can do at this point. And time is ticking away. Just one more chance. 4 minutes of added time. Just one more chance, guys. One more chance. I mean, Mendiola were the better team, but we were leading. 2 penalty kicks allowed. And a poor way to finish. We'll watch Mendiola lift the PFL Cup. We'll watch it happen. We watch Trophyless here. One day, we're going to be the manager there. But that is yet to come in this save. This is going to be us soon. But until then, congrats to Mendiola. We really aren't far off anymore. We aren't far off. We've shown that we can compete. A 2-1 loss. We got the money. I'll show you guys the finances. We are now in the positive. That is what we wanted to see. But we are not far off. An 85th minute winner for Mendiola. We are not far off. I think I might have forgotten to show you guys earlier, but just for progress on the Build a Nation save, Mendiola did make it to the round of 16 where they defeated Pathum, and then they played Kashima in the Champions League two quarterfinals where they lost. They actually had a good chance to make it through at a neutral venue there, but they did lose. But this match does bode well for the future. We're getting closer. We're almost there. And we will have, hopefully, championship playoffs and potentially a match against Mendiola if we can make the final. But that's still a ways and away, and we still likely it's going to be United City versus Stallion. But I'll talk about all that stuff after the last match against DHC here. I'm just going to move forward straight to the match against DHC. There's nothing really to talk about beforehand. I won't talk too much about the starting lineup beforehand. I think it's going to be mostly a backup starting lineup because I don't know if all of the yellows and suspensions carry over into the championship playoffs. So I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to play a completely backup side against DHC. So I will go straight into the match. That match is in a week, but we'll just go straight into the match against DHC. I'll show you guys the starting lineup as they kind of come up. But yeah, I'll see you all there, and then I'll talk about the season as a whole after that match. And the final match of the regular season is underway. I have put on a completely backup team. I don't know if suspensions carry over from the regular season into the playoffs. So just to be safe, it is a completely backup team. If you guys can see the starting lineup at the bottom there, it is youngsters and backups. I don't really know what to expect from this match, but if we can play all right and nobody gets injured or suspended, I will be very happy with that. But we are about 6 minutes into the match, and we have a first highlight here. Mario Garcia is a youngster who previously came up through the youth academy. He plays it into Heel Cruz. It goes to Javier Galloso, and Javier Galloso gives us a brilliant start to the match. We are about 6 minutes in, and we found the back of the net. Good start. And we have a kickoff highlight here. DHC getting us started again. That could be good or bad for us. Kickoff highlights aren't always brilliant. But hopefully we can win the ball back here as it goes to Artichik. Oh, that's not good. And our youth academy product, John Soriano, has just gotten a red card. That is not what I wanted to see. Well, that red card has definitely complicated matters for us here. Hopefully we can just kind of stay in things. But it goes out to Zakal. And he goes around the right side. That's a good save from Julian Schwarzer. Very good save from Julian Schwarzer. Hopefully that keeps us doing all right here. I'm going to lower the tempo and such just to try to help this game move a little bit quicker. But Villanueva to Zakal goes into the back post. And it goes to the top of the box too. That's a really good finish. You know how you just see a highlight and you immediately know they're going to score? That was one of those instances. Just the way the ball was curling into the net. And a DHC corner here right after their goal. That's a penalty. What's with all the penalties this episode? 2 for Mendiola, now 1 for DHC. And we've kind of read. The refs are not on our side today. Artichinkir steps up. He scores. The refs just aren't on our side today. I feel like we're very unlucky today. Well, DHC take the lead now.
Another corner for DHC here. They've definitely had their fair share of corners. And it is over the bar from Arda Chinkir. All right, guys. I think we just need to... Oh, they got another free kick. They're getting a lot of set pieces here. Man. Oh, it's not our day today. It is not our day today. DHC with the throw. Goes to Carino, to Takano. We just need to get to halftime at this point. Just get to halftime. Maybe we can regroup as Romley's in here. And it is 4-1. I'm really feeling like I shouldn't have played all of the backups now. I don't think I should have done that. I should have played some of the starters. I'm worried this is going to have us lose our momentum. DHC looking to play the ball through the midfield here. Conan Kofi playing it to Romeo. Back to Takano. We really just need to get to halftime here. As they're in behind. That's really bad. That's really bad. And it's 5-1. Haven't had a game like this for a while. Wow. And it is halftime. We are going to yell at the team. Thrash our arms. Tell them they aren't good enough. Wow. This has been... I don't even really know what to do tactically at this point, if I'm honest with you guys. And the second half is underway. 5-1. I've just gone a little bit more defensive now. Have Gaios up top on his own. We just need to bunker down and... Again, I mean, it doesn't matter. We finished second no matter what, but I really didn't want to. I'm just a little concerned that our momentum... This shouldn't do too much for morale, though. I'm just worried that, like, in the roll of the dice in Football Manager, that we'll lose our momentum, and that could have an effect moving into the playoffs. So we just need to make sure there's no hangover. A good second half to hopefully give us some sort of momentum shift. DHC with a corner here as we move towards the end of the second half. Goes into Kofi Villanueva. Then back into Kofi. And Arda Chinkir has destroyed us today. Is that his hat trick? I think that's his hat trick. 6-1. This is not a match that I thought we were going to be ending the season with. And DHC have another high. There we go. Well done, Cruz. Back to Schwarzer. Come on, boys. Give us a little bit of respect. We need a goal at least just to swing things back our way. That's a good ball over the top to Gayoso. And Gayoso finishes 6-2. At least that's a little bit better. And I think this is the end of the match here. This should be the end of match highlight. A poor way to end the season. Obviously, the real end of the season is the playoff matches coming up. But I did start a backup team. I didn't play. There weren't many of the real, our starting lineup playing. And we got a red card, so that might be my fault. Hopefully this doesn't affect any potential playoff run too much, but, we'll see how that goes in the next episode.
Not the best end of the season, especially with our youngster coming in through the youth intake, John Soriano, getting a red card. But he hasn't had a bad season. I mean, 4 appearances, 6.7 overall rating. That's a good start to his career. Interestingly, that does put DHC into the playoff spot. I probably could have talked about that a little bit more beforehand, but to show you guys now how the season has ended, if we go back to the league table, DHC jumped above Kaya, who lost in the final match of the season. Who did they lose to? They lost to Maharlika Taguig at home, 7-4. What a loss. And that was just enough to put DHC into the playoff spot. So Mendiola will face DHC and we will play Stallion. We did finish second in the PFL, so that means we get quite a bit of money, which is really, really good for us. Looking at let me go to the finances. We're nearly £500,000 in the positive, which is awesome. That does a lot to help our finances. But the big news, of course, is the Champions Playoff semifinal. For the shot to win the PFL, we will take on Stallion. So this is what the bracket looks like here. In fact, I'll do this on the tree. Mendiola versus DHC, United City versus Stallion for a shot at winning the PFL championship. But that match isn't just for the PFL title, it is also. So in the semifinal here, the winners qualify for the final, but winning the final is important because, it actually doesn't show up in the rules here. But the making the final puts us in the AFC Champions League 2. So the semifinal, so the Champions League 2 spots aren't based off of how you do in the league table. The top two positions, so to speak, make it into the AFC Champions League 2. And that means if you make the PFL Championship final, you will qualify for the Champions League 2. I don't know if any of that made sense, but to illustrate my point, Stallion and Mendiola were the two teams to represent us in the Champions League 2 this season. Stallion finished third, but they qualified because if we go to the championship playoff last season, they made the final after beating Kaya in extra time. And then in the final, they lost to Mendiola, but these are the two teams that represented us in the Champions League 2. So not only is our semifinal against Stallion going to be huge as far as potentially having the shot to make the PFL championship and potentially have a shot at the PFL title, which we've shown now. I assume we'd play Mendiola, and we've shown that we can compete, so have another shot at Mendiola and to potentially win the PFL title. But it's also huge because that is the last continental competition spot, and that would help a lot if we can make the Champions League 2. But that is everything that's coming up next. It's been a good season. I mean, we finished second. We really weren't that far off actually go to this season. We really weren't that far off Mendiola. I mean, the last two matches of the season we were just kind of whatever at that point. We were only 8 points off. So, we were sort of ish in a title fight to finish first, but we are now actually in the title fight as far as the playoffs are concerned. And just looking at kind of the player overview, like Matt Orr scored 32 goals this season. I'm going to do after the end of the playoffs, I'll do like a full season in review. But Matt Orr was only 4 goals off the Golden Boot, 32 goals. Gaioso was tied for second goals with 26 goals. And I think it still carries over. Like, I think the Golden Boot and stuff is still in contention as far as even in the Champions playoffs are concerned. But Schwarzer ended up with the most shutouts during the regular season. Again, Seed could still surpass him depending on what happens in the playoffs. And Matt Orr had the most player of the match awards. But wow, Rafael Vermaat, 26 assists this season. Jeez. But that is the end of the regular season. Unfortunately, we couldn't win the PFL Cup final, but now it is the Champions playoffs. And for a chance to make the Asian Champions League 2, and for a chance to compete for the PFL Cup title. I will see you all for the final episode of Season 3. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves, and I will see you all soon. Bye.